Texture in solo fingerstyle guitar is a crucial but often overlooked element in fingerstyle guitar playing and making arrangements for fingerstyle guitar. Now, texture can be described as the overall sound quality of a musical piece that is created by the interplay of various musical factors such as tempo, melody, harmony, pitch, density, and the list goes on and on. It's a broad topic and it's what we're going to be narrowing down into this lesson. Hello, my name is Niu Chan and welcome to Fingerstyle For The World, my online lesson series where I strive to help guitarists all around the world become better musicians. And with that, let's delve straight into our musical concept for today, texture on guitar. Well, a helpful first step to understanding texture is not to listen to it, but to visualize it. So I want you to imagine a bed sheet or a piece of clothing or a carpet, and that's one of the reasons why I wore this scarf for this lesson today. Alright, so your piece of clothing or whatever it is, it could be very bare, it could just be a solid color all the way through, or you could have lots of ornamentation and designs on it. So for example, this scarf here, it's got lots of little patterns over it, and this could be musically perceived as the density of notes. How many notes, how busy it is. And if you have a piece of carpet, for example, that's full of designs everywhere, you can describe it as being very dense. A lot is happening. Whereas if it's something just plain and bare, then you can imagine what it would sound like. It would be really sparse and open and maybe clean sounding. That's one way you could describe it. Now, beyond the density of patterns or ornamentation on your fabric, another crucial element is the color palette. It could be really dark and bold, strong colors, or it could be really light and pastel kind of colors. This is kind of in between, but you can notice it's really warm sounding. Now, I like to map this onto music as pitch registers, something that's really dark and really sort of in your face and sort of strong and foreboding. That's something that's a little bit bassier, a little darker, a little fuller. Whereas something that's more light, something that's really pastel, that could be something in the higher registers. Well, I'll leave you to map the visuals onto the aural components because everybody perceives it a little differently. But that's just to get you started on the concept of texture. But coming back to the guitar, in order to evoke these various textures, we need to first understand the techniques that we can apply on our instrument to create them. Now, we're going to be looking at the two textural elements that I've just described using visuals as a reference, and that is the density of notes as well as the pitch registers. So with that, let's get started with our musical example of the day. So the musical example for today is my fingerstyle arrangement of the song Come People of the Risen King by Keith and Christine Getty. And I want you to focus on how I use texture to really contrast between the verse and the chorus. So in the chorus, I'm going to be playing mostly full open chords using open strings, right? And these are more bassy, these resonate longer and are more full sounding. When it comes to the chorus section, I'm going to go way up the neck and I'm going to be playing close position chords. And it's going to be a lot more sparse, it's going to be lighter. So you can imagine that this sound in the verse is going to be something that is more full, like it has more ornamentation, the colors might be darker, it might be bolder. Whereas when we start to go up here, it's going to be more sparse, more open, and the colors might be lighter, a little bit more pastel. So I'm going to play one verse and one chorus for you, and you can listen out for these textural differences. This is Come People of the Risen King. So did you hear the differences in texture between the verse and the chorus section? Well, I hope you had fun listening out for these textural differences, and I'm going to show you how you can apply these techniques in your own fingerstyle playing with a musical exercise. So today's exercise is straightforward but really important. We're going to be playing the same chord in two different positions on the guitar. One is in the lower position, open position using open strings. And the second one that comes right after that is going to be in a higher position using closed position where we don't use our open strings, and the register is going to be higher. Now, I want you to go and download the chord position guide that I have on my website, which has all the chord positions that you need, and the links are in the description below, and you can have lots of fun discovering all the various chord positions on the guitar. But with that, let's get to our musical exercise. So we're going to be starting with our C major chord in open position over here. And then we're going to change the position to go all the way up here. Alright, so follow along with the tab. You can download the exercise on my website. Links are all in the description below. But right now, I want you to just forget about playing in rhythm. Alright, just follow the tab and play along. This is open position, the C chord, and in closed position all the way up here. Listen to the difference in the texture. Now we go to our next chord, G major chord. Listen to how full and bassy it is. And then we're going to go to our second position, which is up here. Still a G major chord, but it's a lot more open and higher up in pitch. Now for our next chord, A minor. In open position, full and bassy. We're going to move up all the way here. Listen to how it opens up, and it's suddenly a little bit more pristine and crisp. And the last chord, F major. Now this isn't using any open strings, but it's still very low in our bass register. And we're going to move up to the higher position all the way up here. Alright, so I'm going to play all of this in tempo, and you can follow along with me. Play it slowly, you can pause the video and play along with me as much as you like. Alright, so starting with C major, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go into G major. A minor. 2, 3, 4. And to F major. So again, take your time to play these slowly and listen to the difference in texture. And I want you to try and come up with some words to describe them. For example, is this full? Is this small? Is this clear? Is this blurry? Is this crispy? Right, think of words or descriptions that you can ascribe to these different positions, and you will be developing your own musicality and not just copying what I'm telling you, but I want you to create your own understanding of the music that you are creating. So with that, I'm going to give you some final tips. And my tip is always focusing on the musicianship element is to not think of these chords as just fingering positions to play mechanically on the guitar. Sure, you can play the chords, you can play the different positions, but what's important is you as a musician knowing how and when to apply these different textures and these different shapes meaningfully in your fingerstyle playing, in your fingerstyle arrangements. So I have lots more videos on fingerstyle arrangement techniques that you can go check out to develop this concept further. And do follow along my YouTube channel and Instagram, Facebook, and my website newchanmusic.com for lots more music and videos. And let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll be happy to answer them. So until next time, I'll see you again. Goodbye.